in last video we're looking at how do we move resources from uh, to between subscriptions or resource groups or regions, uh, right? So we are looking at that. Now I'm going to see how can we remove resources and resource groups. So let's take a look. Okay, so to remove resources and resource groups, we also need to use caution when deleting a resource group, because it deletes all the resources that are contained in the resource group. Okay, so, and that resource group might contain resources and other resource groups depend on, and we can use PowerShell to do that using the remove az resource group commandlet and specifying the name of the resource group. And then once you remove, so talking about removing resources, you can also delete individual resources within a resource group. For example, here we are deleting the virtual network. So you can see here, yeah, there is this delete button, and yeah, so that's where we can go ahead and delete it. And let's also take a look at how to determine resource limits. So resource limits in Azure lets you view the resource usage against the limits. This is helpful to track current usage and plan for future use. So as you can see in the screenshot here, that you have the provider and the quota, and you can see the utilization, right? So here you have 25% being used by CPUs, region CPUs from the East US, whereas in West Europe it is 21%. So we know the usage limits, and the limits shown are the limits for your subscription. So you can only have certain number of CPUs and within a region per subscription. And when you need to increase the default limit, there's a request increase link. All resources have a maximized limit listed in Azure limits, a maximum limit, excuse me. And if you are the maximum limit can't be increased. Alright, so let's take a look at an article. It says about limits, it talks about limits briefly here. Managing limits, general limits, okay. Alright, I don't think we need to go through this in detail, but just gives you an idea where to look at if you need to look up limits. Alright, so in the next video we'll be taking a knowledge check. So until then, see you next time.